my deepest apologies for not being able to make it to your last special event at Wesley. It figures after you name your kid after something, they would kick you out. I really planned on being there tonight, but you know, things came up, life happened, so sorry about that. When I was thinking about what to talk to you about, there's just so many things I wanted to say, but where I thought would be the beginning, and what's my first memory of our encounters. And it was my freshman year, right after beach retreat. I didn't really know you yet, but Leslie Pipkin invited me to come out and play co-ed volleyball. So I was like, sure, I'm an athlete, I'll go. And so I show up at Tully Gym. First thing I noticed, as soon as I walk in the door, who is this old guy who is trying way too hard at co-ed volleyball? And that was you. And I quickly realized that you were with Wesley, and you were one of the so-called premier athletes for the Wesley Foundation. And not many of you might remember that back in the day, Wesley wasn't really a good athletic program, and winning seasons weren't really a reality. And anyway, so I started playing volleyball. It was fun, had a good time. Towards the end of the game, the way things worked out is that we didn't have enough guys on the team, and so we'd have to sub in and out. So at the end of the game, for some reason, it was like tied up. It was like 29-29. We're playing at 30. The way it works out is you're subbing out of the game as I'm coming into the game, which is just like destiny. And so you get the ball, you walk over to me because I'm about to serve, you hand me the ball, put one hand on each one of my shoulders and say, Scott, I know you're a jokester and like to have fun, but some of us take this seriously and really care about this game. And then you walked away. And as you walked away, I was like, this guy is such a joke. And I knew from then on it was my destiny to mess with you. And I didn't know how or what shape that was going to take, or that it would lead into the most unspoken about prank war of all time. But I knew then it was going to happen. Also, on Erik Seise playing intramurals, many of you might not have got to experience this very much, but I've never seen someone put such raw desire and passion into something so utterly insignificant. And if you didn't get to see it, it was magical. So I think we can all agree that Erik's a pretty smart guy, you know. He likes to figure things out and plan ahead. And so this one time, it was right after Lori got pregnant. I mean, baby Seise was just a twinkle in her eye at this point. And so it was like right after she got pregnant, and me and Seise were in the car driving somewhere, probably to Sam's or something to pick some stuff up or something. Anyway, so we're in the car, and we're just talking, and he's like, yeah, Scott, I've been planning for the baby. I was like, oh, okay, Erik's a smart guy. I mean, he's probably setting up a scholarship fund or something. He's going to turn $50 into, like, paying for his kid's entire education. And, you know, just for the sake of conversation, I was like, oh, yeah, what are you planning for? And he's like, you know, he said, I'm planning on getting a lifetime hunting and fishing license for my kid. I'm like, the kid is like 9 months from being born, and he's planning on buying like a lifetime hunting and fishing license. And like, there are literally so many holes in this whole thing, I didn't even know where to begin. And he just keeps talking. He's like, yeah, if you buy it before they're 6 months old, you get a huge discount. It's like $3,000 or $4,000. And it lasts for the whole life. And if they live through their 60, they'll save like $60,000. And I'm like, whoa, you're so far ahead of yourself. What if you have triplets? Do you get a group discount? What if your kids don't like to kill things? What are you going to do then? Big waste of money. Also, I started to think further on this after I went home that I was like, well, what about... No. The prank war. Many of you probably haven't heard all the intimate details of what actually happened during this grand fiasco. And I think it's time, now that Erik's leaving, that we go ahead and clear the air on what exactly happened. It all started at that volleyball game my freshman year, and I knew that at some point we were going to have to get at each other. And it kind of, my sophomore year, it started culminating. We like stole his I Am Championship t-shirts, and by t-shirts I mean 2, it wasn't that many plural. And then we started doing these petty little pranks back and forth. And then this one night, I had this vision of how we could get Erik. And my vision was to steal his boat that he had so much pride in, even though it was like 8.5 feet. But he had so much pride in this little boat. We were going to steal it and then put it in the intern's office, which happened to be up on the stage at that point. And so we had actually pranked Erik last, and so we had to like wait for him to prank us again, which was just kind of annoying because it took forever and it just was kind of insignificant. And so eventually he did prank us back, and so we're like, all right, we set it up, and we actually got like 5 guys, and then we got an insider who lived at Wesley who locked up to unlock it for us and turn the alarm off. And we went over with like 5 guys, unhooked his boat from the trailer, carried it across Pensacola Street up through Wesley, and lifted it over to this wall into the intern's office on the stage at Wesley. And then like put the whole office back together and like made it perfect. And it was just like went off without a hitch. So I mean, it already felt good. The next morning I wake up, I have 3 voicemails from Erik, all about 20 minutes apart from each other. And let me tell you, listening to these voicemails was the most satisfying thing of my entire college career. I can say without a shadow of a doubt, they are more satisfying than graduating college, was listening to Erik on these voicemails. So the first voicemail was like, Scott, you need to get up here with you and your friends and get this boat out of here by 9 o'clock. And then he hung up. Yeah, that's going to happen. And so then the next one is like, Scott, you need to get up here. This isn't funny. You need to have your boat out of here by 10:30. I don't even think I woke up till 10:30, so that obviously wasn't going to happen. Calls back a little bit later. He's like, Scott, if I ever see your truck on Wesley property again, I'm towing it. And that goes for you and all your roommates, so let them know. And they hung up. And just, when I got to listen to those, it just brought me such like a sick joy of knowing how frustrated you were and like how I had won. And I just feel so good. The hard part about it though is Vance I think got involved at this point and threw like a cloak of darkness over the whole thing. Because when the next time I showed up at Wesley, I gave you a couple day cooling off period because I know how you get a little fired up sometimes. And so when the next time we showed up at Wesley, like everybody on staff, all the interns, everybody was just in like deny mode. Apparently like Vance either like hypnotized them or like told them, you guys cannot talk about this. And so that was kind of how the whole thing ended. And there were other pranks involved, but like stealing your boat was probably the pinnacle of my entire college career. So I really appreciate that. And those voicemails just really, I kept those for like a year afterward. And every time I was feeling kind of sad, I would just listen to them and just, it would make me smile automatically. This is a message for Lori and baby Seise. I don't know if you've ever seen that VW commercial about the dad who's like trying to like show his kid how to throw a ball, and he's kind of just like kind of just limp arming it, throwing it real bad, and then they're like, oh, pass something on like that your kids will actually appreciate. Go ahead and tell baby Seise to just write off basketball completely, because if you've seen his father try and play basketball, it's kind of a joke. So just don't let him even get that thought in his head. Don't ever put basketball on TV at the house. Just kind of like skip right over that one and go to something else he might have a chance in. While some of you might find this video a little harsh, it's really all in good fun. Me and Erik have actually had a lot of good times together. Like the time he walked 7 batters and cost us an intramural championship my freshman year. But you know, I'm not bitter. It's cool. I still got plenty of championship t-shirts and we're good to go. But we actually did have some good times. Like the time we smoked cigars in Guatemala on the rooftop of a hostel while Vance and all the other vegetarians were sick. Or the intramural championships we did win. Or the cosmic whirlpool. I'll give you this, Erik. You're the best not tire I know. So, I wish you luck at USF. I know you're going to do great. It's a fun new challenge. I'm sure you'll grow and surpass Vance in success because he's kind of getting old anyway.